situated near the central Bosnian town of Visoko in Herzegovina, is a curious oddity that has been subject to archaeological speculation for hundreds of years. It has long since captured the imagination of both the local people that live there and the scientific community. Dubbed the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, the site has a lot more significance than what initially meets the eye. While it may look like a simple hill, one of many that are spread throughout the Herzegovina highlands, recent speculation suggests that it possibly could have a rather man-made origin. Visočica Hill, at first glance, looks like a grassy hill that sits amongst many others in the Visoko region. This hill has sat unassumingly for as long as the inhabitants have lived in the area. Yet, Bosnian-American explorer and author Semir Osmanagic would make a rather stunning claim that this natural earth formation was the Pyramid of the Sun, once a pyramid built by an ancient civilization, claiming that its construction dates to 32,000 BCE. But why would someone such as Osmanagic make such a bold claim? Is there evidence to suggest that there is more to the hill than what was previously understood? The area already has some pre-existing questions regarding its true place in history. In fact, many historians believe that the nearby town of Herzegovina is the true location of the legendary Greek city of Troy. The story of Troy, having been immortalized in Homer's The Iliad, has been elusive for centuries, as there is frequent debate on where it was geographically located in ancient Eurasia. However, the fact that Herzegovina has a strategic position between the crossroads of Europe and the Near East, as well as the Aegean Sea, makes it an ideal location to build such a site. The Trojan warriors described in the Iliad also are strikingly like the Illyrians, an ancient Indo-European culture that inhabited the entire area of the Western Balkans. Both groups were infamously known for their warrior culture as well as their maritime prowess, characteristics that would be immortalized in Homer's story. The story of the Bosnian Pyramid begins in 2005 with a survey of the area by Semir Osmanagic, who was actively engaged in archaeological excavations of the surrounding Visoko region at the time. His initial claim was that not just one, but several of the hills in the area were not natural formations at all. He surmised that they were, in fact, ancient pyramids that had been buried beneath layers of rock, sediment, and vegetation that had accumulated over thousands of years. His main theory regarding these alleged pyramids was directed toward one, the Pyramid of the Sun, of which he claims would have been the largest pyramid known to civilization, dwarfing even the Great Pyramid of Giza. But what evidence did he have to support this outlandish hypothesis that he had proposed? Well, his basis for this idea had stemmed from support from ground penetration radar scans, aerial photography, as well as extensive geological analysis. Osmanagic made the assertion that the hills exhibited key characteristics that paralleled traits found in other ancient man-made structures in every corner of the globe. These traits include precise geometric alignments, artificially constructed terraces, as well as personal accounts that he himself had uncovered several stone blocks that had markings suggesting they were artificially crafted by humans. These methods revealed that there exists an area with subterranean features that show signs of intentional construction. Archaeologists are aware of the existence of walls and ceilings that were crafted from the stone blocks. Some passages even contain evidence of ventilation and drainage systems. Radiocarbon dating done on some of the organic materials that were recovered from the tunnels had determined that their ages aligned with Osmanagic's proposed timelines of the pyramid's construction. Additionally, there is indeed some historical context in that region that supports the idea that there could have been pyramids nearby. For example, there is genuine evidence that humans have occupied these highlands since the Paleolithic era, as well as the eventual inhabitation by other later ancient civilizations such as the Illyrians and the Romans, both of which would in fact be able to create complex monuments such as a pyramid. Oral traditions and folklore belonging to the local population are often known to reference ancient structures and civilizations that predate Bosnian recorded history. This narrative could suggest that the supposed Bosnian pyramids may have been revered by later generations but would eventually fade out of human consciousness over the many millennia later. Eerily similar, there is also often mention of a Pyramid of the Moon present in Bosnia. Situated near the Pyramid of the Sun, the land above the supposed complex has yielded ample evidence that seem to support its existence. Things that have been found there include pottery fragments, tools and carvings, and ceremonial objects, all of which hint at the fact that perhaps religious practices have taken place there, proving that there existed a sophisticated understanding of cosmology and spirituality within the traditions of the ancient Bosnian peoples. So, what does the rest of the scientific and archaeological community think about Osmanagic's claims that the Bosnian hills were once pyramids? Well, his hypotheses have stirred up a rather large controversy because of how such a discovery would immediately reshape what we know about ancient peoples in Bosnia and the rest of the Eurasia region. The most contentious of his claims revolves around what he claims to be the age of these pyramids. Despite widely agreed upon archaeological fact proposing that complex civilizations capable of erecting monumental structures did not emerge until several thousand years later, Osmanagic still stands by his bold claim that the Bosnian pyramids were initially built in 32,000 BCE during the Paleolithic era. Supporting this wild theory are geological tests that date the sediment layers allegedly covering the structure back tens of thousands of years. Additionally, carbon dating of some of the organic materials found in the area, wooden beams and charcoal that supposedly once belonged to the interior of the pyramid, yield consistent dates in age. So, to address the elephant in the room, do the Bosnian hills look like they could have pyramids buried deep underneath? Well, personally, I believe that visual similarities are purely coincidental. Two of the hills in particular, the Visočica Hill and the Pljesevica Hill, do in fact look somewhat pyramidal in shape. However, isn't this the case for most hills really? Hills are just naturally somewhat pyramidal, with the base of a mound being wider as it gets narrower at its peak. Additionally, many mainstream archaeologists have very valid concerns surrounding claims of a pyramid in the area. First, critics argue that geological features cited by Osmanagic in his publications can be mostly attributed to natural processes, such as tectonic activity and erosion, rather than human intervention. Additionally, they call into question the reliability of the results of carbon dating tests, as potential contaminants or errors during the process could compromise the accuracy of its analysis. Finally, numerous archaeological teams and independent researchers have undertaken investigations aimed at either verifying or refuting the presence of Bosnian pyramids. Some of these debunking efforts have involved advanced archaeological practices such as stratigraphic analysis and geomorphological studies to gain a more accurate scope of the alleged pyramid's age and origins. One of the biggest efforts to uncover the truth of the pyramids has been the aptly named Bosnian Pyramid Project. This program, launched in collaboration with Osmanagic himself and numerous other international experts, has conducted extensive excavations, geological surveys, and laboratory analysis of the contents of the surrounding area. Surprisingly, some of Osmanagic's claims did turn out to be true. The presence of man-made stone blocks would be discovered nearby. Overall, Osmanagic's assertions have faced vehement opposition from several qualified scientists and archaeologists alike, who often denounce the claims as both pseudo-scientific and severely detrimental to genuine archaeological endeavors in the Bosnian region. A proclamation issued by the 7 leading European archaeologists working with the European Association of Archaeologists states that supporting efforts to prove Osmanagic's claim correct should be barred by authorities and unequivocally condemned. Some of the signatures gathered for the declaration include several important figures of the archaeological community, such as Hermann Parzinger, president of the German Archaeological Institute in Berlin, and Anthony Harding, president of the European Association of Archaeologists. The declaration suggests that the entire project is a cruel hoax and was perpetrated on an unsuspecting public, with its assertions lacking any basis in genuine scientific practice, stating that Osmanagic's publications are simply a misallocation of resources that could be better utilized in preserving authentic archaeological heritage. Furthermore, it has proven to divert attention away from various other more important issues that plague the field of archaeology in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Amar Karapus, a curator working for the Historical Museum of Bosnia and Herzegovina in Sarajevo, has expressed several times that the pyramids are an outlandish hoax. In the same vein, Gat Fagan of Penn State University has protested efforts to find the pyramid, stating that these falsehoods will lead to the destruction of sites of actual archaeological value, as efforts are made to dig up a pyramid that simply does not exist. He equated it to essentially bulldozing Stonehenge to find an alleged magical chamber. Enver Imamovic, a scholar at the University of Sarajevo, has since voiced his concerns towards that these fictitious stories about pyramids being hidden in the area may cause irreparable damage to historic sites like the medieval capital of Visoki and threaten to undermine the genuine rich history of Bosnia's cultural heritage and traditions. Even more so, on May 8, 2006, several members from the University of Tuzla hosted a press conference to showcase findings arrived at by a geological team. To them it appeared that the pyramids underneath the sediment were nothing more than natural geological formations. The stone bricks that looked man-made were nothing more than that of a specific kind of bedrock called clastic sediments. Clastic sediments are a layer of soil that varies dramatically in thickness and shape. This is due to endodynamical and exodynamical processes. Ultimately, the pyramid search would lead to nothing but layers of conglomerate, clay, and sandstone. Unfortunately, where the hidden pyramids do exist beneath the soil of the region, there is no doubt that such claims have inspired efforts that have caused irrefutable damage to the surrounding area. Ever since 2006, Osmanagic has undergone excavations of the foothills, even reshaping an entire bluff to resemble that of a stepped pyramid. There is at least one positive, however, to this supposed hoax. Ever since Osmanagic made his initial claims, the site has seen about 200,000 tourists per year, and in 2017, the Visoko municipal government declared it to be a park of rather high significance. The town of Visoko itself is relatively small, with a current population of 11,000 people. Shop owners living nearby are thankful for the tourism, as they greatly assist in stimulating the regional economy. Osmanagic himself has since spun the fanfare in a positive light as well. He has actively sought out investments to build an archaeological park. He has also added events that he claims have enhanced the spiritual atmosphere in the hills. One such event are meditation sessions held in the Ravne tunnels, the name given to the underground network of tunnels that were carved out by the early inhabitants. Upon its opening in June 2016, Osmanagic would go on to state that 5,000 people had already visited his archaeological park in the first 2 months alone. Whether or not the area is the true home to the city of Troy, or if prehistoric pyramids are buried deep below the surface, remain unknown. However, it is always possible that the investigation into either of these claims may tie into one another. As excavations continue in the Bosnian region, the mystery regarding the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun and Pyramid of the Moon will become even more unraveled, until we can say for sure whether there is merit to the conspiracies proposed by Semir Osmanagic so long ago. Either way, stories like that attempt to enrich our mutual understanding about the past, ultimately result in a deeper appreciation for our shared human heritage. As always, thanks for watching, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating topics like this one.